Crowds were around 30,000 people. We've had numbers come in from a lot of the walks across the country. More than 100,000, maybe 150,000 people walked across the country today calling for more action from the next government on climate change. So we're pleased with today's events. It's clear that there's a lot of support out there. Much more needs to be done, and that is what the community said today on climate change. So it's a big message being sent to the next government to get more serious on climate change and give us more than what we've seen today.
So you said 30,000 in this particular march?
30,000 in Sydney. We've had crowd counters around the streets as we've been marching. We basically met the back end, or not even the back end of the march when we came around. We circled Hyde Park probably 1.5 times, if not for more than that. So clearly the numbers were quite big, probably 25 to 30. They gave us a count of around 28 or something. So that's, just in terms of estimates. We're saying 30 for today. In Melbourne, we just heard crowds of 50,000, and right across the country in Hobart, 2,500, thousands in marginal seats across the country calling for more action on climate change.
What does more action mean?
More action means setting a short-term target when it comes to reducing greenhouse pollution. The next Australian government needs to reduce greenhouse pollution by at least 30% by 2020. Let's wait till that bus goes past. Today's action was all about calling for more from the next Australian government when it comes to reducing greenhouse pollution. We want to see targets of at least 30% by 2020 in terms of cuts in greenhouse pollution. That's what today was about. More than 150,000 people across the country were calling for this as well. Malcolm Turnbull was invited to attend today's rally. We asked either him or a representative of the Liberal Party to attend. I think he cited Remembrance Day commitments on a radio interview the other day. We're disappointed that the Liberal Party could not come and address the crowd about what they would do when it comes to climate change if re-elected. Unfortunately, the crowd wasn't able to hear from Malcolm Turnbull and the Liberal Party. That was a big issue, I think, for everybody there today. We wanted to provide a fair and balanced view of everybody's policies. We got Labor, we got the Greens, we didn't get the Liberal parties, which was a shame.
Okay, a consequence of the broad churches, there was a bit of discord in the crowd and some animosity towards Peter Garrett. Was that helpful?
What we didn't see today, I suppose, was a fair approach in terms of Malcolm Turnbull also showing up and addressing the crowd about what they would do. I think what we're seeing is a very frustrated climate change community, people who are wanting more action more quickly than what they're getting at the moment. So when it comes to climate change, it's action in the next few years that really counts. This is why I think people are getting frustrated. They've seen delays. They're seeing decisions which will increase our greenhouse gas emissions. We haven't seen any decisions that will reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Hence probably some of the frustration in today's crowd. They're just wanting things done more quickly. They're wanting our greenhouse pollution to reduce, and they're also wanting projects that increase greenhouse gases to not be approved. That's probably what happened today.
If we see a Labor government, are things going to be better?
What we need to see from both sides of politics is a commitment to reducing our greenhouse pollutions. Whoever gets elected after November 24 needs to do much more than what they've promised to date. We haven't seen promises that are needed, such as reducing greenhouse pollutions by 2020. We haven't seen it. That's what it's about. Doesn't matter who gets elected in a way, we just need action. But the Labor Party has come out with more greenhouse policies than the coalition so far. So they've committed to a renewable energy target. That gives them more of a tick than what the Liberal Party have so far.